Parasites and demons. Is there a connection? Okay, let's get into this. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. And this is another Rethinking Reality. And Rethinking Reality is, well, there to be able to give you different ideas, concepts, disciplines, maybe different understandings, or maybe just connecting the dots to make your world make a little more sense out of the nonsense that we're sort of seeing everywhere, all the time, 24/7. Okay, but let's get into parasites and demons. Is there a connection? And if you're new to my channel, then, well, remember, we try to look at as much information as we can, make sense out of it. If it's got any sense to it, then I like to go ahead and put it in action and see what it does for me. Okay, so that's Earther Academy, is to look at a lot of information, make sense out of it or nonsense. And if it, like I said, if it is sense, then let's put it into action. Let's take intelligence and apply it. Okay, make it so it's applied intelligence. So anyways, this is another layer that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is because parasites are something that, when you look at them, like I said, what do you think these things could be? Just think about it. These parasites that don't have genetic genomes similar to ours at all, so they're not from us, okay, they have a directive inside the body or in anything, pretty simple, right? To be able to find a host, become mature, reproduce, and start the life cycle over and over and over again. Remember, a parasite needs a warm body. They're cold-blooded, okay? Just like reptiles, okay? Just like fish, cold-blooded. So if they're cold-blooded, they need a warm-blooded thing. Could be an animal, any type of creature. Even ones that are cold-blooded parasites have, right? Fish have a lot of parasites. Remember the fish tapeworm. Check out what this thing looks like. Man, it can grow up to 60 feet inside anybody, okay? So parasites are, to me, this is what I've been connecting together over, remember, 40 years of looking into these demons, because that's what I see them as now. Remember, they live in the dark, they drink your blood, they poop inside you, okay? And these are things that, well, wouldn't be too heavenly, right? So they must come from some other place, maybe from hell, so they say, right? Like when we say hello, right? Who came up with that one? So anyways, so when you know about just the word, even parasite in gematria is 33, okay? So there's a lot of different things that actually go hand in hand with just parasites alone, because parasites, remember, they're not really known to that many people at all. And unless maybe you get sick and a doctor's going to go ahead and actually know that you are most likely infected with some type of foreign creature, some type of foreign entity, okay? Parasites, what are they? Remember, they don't add one thing to your body, so they're not necessary for any of us to have. And anybody says, oh, parasites they're symbiotic. Some are, is because they're not killing you, right? But they are killing you slowly as they poop inside the body and cause a dysfunction and cause it you can call it, pooping in the body. Think about that. You have an entity that lives inside of our 18 gallons of water. Could live in your intestines. It could live in your liver, your organs, right? Any organ. Brain, kidney, spleen, liver. Could live in your muscles. A lot of people have sore muscles. Could live in your bones. A lot of people have arthritis. Okay, remember, connect the dots. A lot of people have gum disease. Why do you have gum disease? Think about it. You brush your teeth too hard? And that may be a problem, especially with abrasive stuff, and you're constantly maybe, you know, causing some type of inflammation to the mouth. But if you have certain creatures that live in there, the tissue that has been now damaged or has taken its slime coat off, which is a protective coating that the body puts out inside itself to make it so, just like parasites do. Parasites, they have a slime coat just like a snail does, right? If you take that biofilm slime coat away, then the body senses these things inside us. Is because they can't sense them because maybe they have that cloak, okay, of mucus around them that makes them so the system cannot sense electricity because it's shielded, right? It's got a shield on it. So parasites and demons, it's just a concept to get into your head. If you felt that you were possessed by these creatures, and we knew these creatures called parasites are called demons, that means you're possessed by demons. Doesn't matter if it's spirochetes, amoebas, okay, all different types. Remember, there's you can say hundreds of thousands of types of parasites. We only know a few of them. But what we do know about is that these creatures have the most fantastic life cycles, and they use a lot of vectors to be able to pass their way into a living host. A lot of vectors. And vector is a way that you go ahead and get infected, like a mosquito, right? A chigger, a flea. Anything that's going to inject something in you is going to also give you an injection of something in it. Okay, it's swapping blood with you. Remember the mosquito pulling out blood. How many people a year get sick from malaria? How about how many people die from malaria, right? Look that up. Got over like 1 million people a year, millions of people to get sick. They have no idea why they get the cold, why they get the flu. Could it be possible, again, that your sickness is parasitical? Your sickness is also maybe because of your environment, because of low oxygen, right? Low oxygen. And how would you know you have low oxygen? Well, a lot of different things, but you know, why do you have low oxygen is the key. Is it because maybe you're wearing the diapers, okay, constantly all the time, breathing your abdominal bacteria into your lungs? Could be. Are you smoking all the time? That'll lower your blood oxygen. Are you breathing toxic fumes all the time? Do you live indoors in heating or air conditioning? Remember, that air is not as oxygenated as you think. It's gone through a furnace or gone through a processor, right? Like an air conditioner, to go ahead and process that air cold. Do you think it keeps its charge? It loses its charge. Do you live inside a new house or have a new car, and your new car now has maybe these upgraded, you can call them ozonators, that are in your car? Okay, causing sometimes, okay, remember the air is made up of, just real quick here, look, a lot of people are using these, won't say the name of them, but these ozonators in their car. They're using them in their house, and they're not using a pure oxygen as the material to make ozone. They're making it with this ambient air. The ambient air has 21.2%, if it's the best, oxygen. It's got 79% 79% nitrogen and 0.03% carbon dioxide, right? This is your general air. So when you use an ozone machine and you're using the general atmospheric air, you're making different types of chemicals. You're making ozone, okay, O2s cracking to O3, 4s and 5s, and that can burn your lungs. You don't want to really breathe that at all. But the worst part is that it's making nitrous oxides. Okay, it takes 79% of the air is nitrogen, and it takes the air into the coronal discharge machine, and then it whacks it with electricity and cracks those open. Okay, cracks the nitrogen open, and of course you've got a combination of nitrous oxide, which is a very that comes out of your car as a toxic, when they talk about nitrous oxides and all different things. So anyways, all these pieces basically are one of the reasons why, if you have low oxygen in your system, Okay? And that could, like I said, be 50 things. I could do a video on 2 hours on this, okay? You live in the city in Los Angeles in the afternoon and towards the evening when everybody's coming home in the traffic. What do you think those cars are kicking out? It's lowering the available oxygen because of all the cars and traffic. Da, 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 da. So you're breathing in not only the carbon monoxide, right? Nitrous oxide, but a bunch of other chemicals that are made up who knows what. Okay, those are the two biggies. But once you get lower oxygen, then your body goes ahead and starts making a house for parasites. That's why I wanted to get to this. Once you lose your oxygen, now you're going to start growing anaerobic. Anaerobic, not aerobic. Aerobic means a creature that uses oxygen. It's aerobic, like doing aerobics, right? And anaerobic means without oxygen. These parasites, they're anaerobic. There are some, maybe, I'm not sure, that are aerobic, but I've never seen any. Okay? These are anaerobic parasites. They live in a cold body. No, they live in a warm body, mostly in us and mammals. Remember the tapeworm, which is part of the cestode family. Okay, the tapeworm is a pretty weird creature, this demon. You can get the Tinea saginata, which is the beef tapeworm, the Tinea solium, which is the pig tapeworm, or just the fish tapeworm, which of course is another species of tapeworm. There's dwarf tapeworms, there's a whole bunch. These things feed through their body, and each of the little segments, remember it's called a protogulid, grows about a 50-cent size piece of new creature. It replicates itself, and it makes it look like a snake. Each one of those protogulids make babies, and they're hermaphrodites. They don't need any boys or girls just because they got it all. Remember, these are demons. So if you found out that these things are laying up to 1 million eggs a day, do you think that it's easy to get infected? Of course it is. Like I said, sanitation is the reason why that helped a lot of people. It's not taking injections for things. It's sanitation that is everything. Okay, so these parasites, again, what do? There's different species. There's ones that live on your skin, ectoparasites. There's ones that are very small, microparasites, and that goes into a lot of subcategories. Then you have other categories, of course, called macroparasites. You can see them with your eye. The microparasites you have to see with a microscope. Okay? But when you see all these different creatures, especially when you look at their heads and the life cycles and a transformational parasite like the rope parasite that starts with a bunch of jelly and a lot of biofilm, and then second stage starts getting bubbles in it. Third stage turns into this thing called a branched jellyfish. Okay, I'll get some air in here. I'm choking. A branched jellyfish. And then the fourth and fifth segment, this thing turns into a snake that moves with, again, jet propulsion. If you knew that your stomach, when it gurgles, is maybe it's the rope parasite moving like a squid does in the ocean, right? With jet propulsion. It's got suckers on it. And, of course, what do you think that thing is? Again. So, if you do have the understanding that everybody is infected with parasites, it doesn't matter which ones you have, okay? The smartest thing for anybody to do, okay, is to be able to have an exorcism. Remember, these are demons. What do you do with demons? Remember The Exorcist, that movie? Okay, you expel these demons, right? You expel them. And you expel them with good, right? Good, not evil. Okay? Good and evil rights the system. And how do you do that? Well, you have to change your diet. Okay? If you're overweight, remember, this is another side note here, but body fat is a parasite. If you think it's not, of course, again, you're just wishing again. So when you're overweight, any size, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 pounds, just look at the body fat as a creature. It's yeast, mold, fungus, candida, whatever you want to call it. It eats sugar, processed foods, and it loves to live in an acidic body, an anaerobic body. So those people that are overweight, why do you think they're so sedated? Lethargy. Okay? Look at all the creatures that are in these people. Okay, and those are just the ones that you can see with your eyes, because remember, body fat is easy to see on anybody. You can't hide it too easily. Stripes make you look bigger, and maybe solid colors make you look a little smaller. That's about all you got. But it's easy to see. You can't hide from it. Remember, more chins. We'll keep that joke. Okay, chinny chin chin. Anyways, body fat's a parasite. Okay, this demon that lives in the body, and you can give yourself an exorcism. Change your diet. Remember, get on a less acidic diet. That means all the sodas, all the garbage that you're eating, whatever it is, Hot Pockets, microwave crap, whatever it is, pizzas, stuff. If you want to eat stuff once in a while, guys, then go ahead. But if you're eating it 2 or 3 times a day, then you've got problems. All these seed oils, all these different herbicides. Remember, conventional foods, processed foods are loaded full of crap. Forget about the food content, the synthetic food content, but just the amount of pesticides that are in the food. Okay, we know there's nano stuff in there now and X, Y, and Z, but what are you going to do? See, once you know that you're infected, okay, with body fat, you're infected, right? You can change that very easy. Fasting, remember, sauna protocols, washing protocols. We've got so many protocols on Earther Academy for you to simply be able to lose weight just by eating 1 bloody meal a day. Even if it's McDonald's, it doesn't matter. Okay, for most, quit your ingestion of toxic material. Increase the amount of water flow that you have. I don't go anywhere unless I have my water. It's just the way it is. Why? Water is everything. And when you don't have water, you got about 3 or 4 days, and that's it. You start drying up, and that's all. That's all. You're done. You don't need food for 30 days, okay? Because I know that's true, because I fasted people for 30 days before. Actually, 31 days. Colleen. Okay? The body is tough as nails, but it needs water. It needs flow. And if it doesn't have flow, then your body's just a trap of acidic waste. All your called your interstitial fluids, which are the fluids around your red blood cells, it's all toxic in there. Okay, on dark field microscopy, I mean, I've done hundreds of people taking a drop of their blood, putting it under dark field microscopy at 40 times, 400 magnification or so, anywhere in between there. Put it on phase contrast, and also on the illumination light too. The illumination light, which is the bright light, lets you be able to see into the parasites, into the fluid, and the dark field lets you put a outline around the outside of the creature so you can see them way better. Spirochetes are in just about everybody I see. Not only are they in your mouth, remember, if you're getting gum disease, the spirochetes are eating your gums. Is because they're inflamed, and those carnivorous creatures inside your body are hungry for damaged food. Okay? Damaged food in your intestinal tract, they'll eat that crap. Okay? But the ones that are carnivorous, because remember, worms eat processed food. They're processors. We're talking about the carnivorous demons. And carnivorous demons are, well, all the tapeworms, anything that sucks blood, and of course, it poops in the body. Okay, but if you've got these different creatures inside you, then terrain modification is what you need to learn. And I've been teaching terrain modification for a long time. Got, what, 13 years of videos on YouTube? And there's a lot of good information in there. It's older. I've changed my views since then, but if you want to clean up your act, there's a variety of ways to do it. You can do it through plants, but you have to be smart when you use plants. You have to be very smart. So if you're not too smart, then doing a video. All right, I gotta find a place to park. There's one of the guys I work out with there. Guy's like 6'6". Let's see if we can find a place to park here. Anyways, maybe I'll continue this because he's going to probably walk over to my car. We'll see. Anyways, what if you find out you're infected? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's the big question. So if you are infected, remember, terrain modification is the game. And you can do that a variety of different ways, but doing liquids for a while will help you significantly. Use the liquids of vitality, any type of liquid that you want to use, you know, water, lemon, adding minerals to salt will increase your flow of your lymph system, which is completely plugged. Okay, so all right, let me put these bloody windows down. It's hot in here. Get this thing off the rack here without disconnecting everything. Okay, so whew, it's hot with the windows up here. And I don't use the air conditioning because that stuff bothers the heck out of me, man. It dries out my throat. It's all positive ions, right? You live in air conditioned rooms. That air is not healthy. It's got very little negative ions in it. Negative ions, which makes you feel good. We've done lots of videos on this. Negative ions next to the waterfall. Okay, so where you live is going to have a propensity on the amount of parasites that you live with. Okay, so you know, in the city you have different parasites than you do in the country. It's just what it is. Okay, they get most of their parasitical infections from other people. They get it from, well, you can say nefarious ways. You can get it through your water, you can get it through your air. Okay, but if you live out in the country and you have animals and stuff like that, and you're not worming these animals correctly, then you know everybody in the farm is infected. You get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, guys are swapping spit, right, doing the French kiss. What do you think's going on? You may want to take a microscope and check and see what kind of spirochetes, or just the amount of spirochetes you have in your mouth. Remember, anybody with any gum disease has a mouth full of spirochetes. They've done lots of research with Alzheimer's and spirochetes. Remember, these are demons. And Alzheimer's, if you just look that up, /spirochetes, find out that doctors, many researchers doing autopsies find out that these creatures are loaded in people that are sick. You got gum disease, you may have just in a little bit of material, saliva between the teeth, you may have 100 of these things inside you, maybe 1,000. And if you're sick, your body's acidic, then you know you have tons of these things inside you. So that's why you have to learn how to detox your body and de-parasite yourself slowly, a little at a time. You can't just jump in there and think you're just going to take a pill for parasites and you're going to do this and do that and that's going to fix you and you can be a heathen for the next 6 months and do whatever you want. No, removing parasites is several years for you to be able to get down to a manageable level. It's like having 20 acres of pasture and all your pastures have 6 foot of overgrowth grass. You can't take a mower to that. You have to use a tractor, right? You have to break it down. Okay, I mean, you got to go through a lot of steps versus just using a simple mower to be able to trim grass that's been managed. So once you get parasites in your body, they start to manipulate the way you feel, the way you think, your sexual orientation. They start to be able to control you in ways that you couldn't even imagine. Remember, it's behind the scenes. These are demons. Again, you go to church, guys, and the funniest part of all of this, it's not funny, but it is. It's like me seeing the doctors that do cancer, like oncology, okay, or seeing the priests. They're all infected with demons, and they're the ones that are actually preaching about Satan and the demons. Okay, remember, forget about being outside the demon system. How about it's inside your body? Wouldn't you like to clean up this church? I'm going to go work out right now. I'm right in front of BJ Penn's. I'll show you here. And I'm going to work out. Check out those ugly wires right there. Without those wires, that's the lifeline or the currency of everyone that lives in town, any town. That's the lifeline. You shut that off, and in 30 days, you got about 80% people that just wither up and die. You don't get anything. Remember, everything is electricity. So talk about control. Remember, parasites control your mind, and that electricity right there controls all people that are under the governing ship of electricity. Because if you don't have electricity, guys, our civilization dies in just 60 days. Okay? It just falls apart. Yeah, I've been watching, just real quick here, I've been watching a good YouTube channel called Indigo Traveler. It's got a lot of subs, and this guy travels around the world to very crazy places. Nigeria, Sudan, Haiti, Yemen. I mean, you can get a chance to see what happens when the infrastructure breaks down, when the system won't feed the people, or the electricity will not go ahead and be used as it does to make civilization civil. Remember, you feed people 2 or 3 times a day, and they're civil. You start fasting, right? Okay, after 4 or 5 days of not eating food, nobody's civil. Nobody is. Everybody's in unrest. And especially if, well, go check out that channel. It's a good channel for us to be able to get a rude awakening on how our world, those worlds over there, they were in pretty good shape, okay, before the system went ahead and actually stopped doing what it needs to to keep things going. So anyways, parasites control the mind. The electricity controls the people. So, you know, you don't need parasites, but we do need electricity. But the electricity, of course, is like a double-edged sword, because we're so used to it with all the electronics we have and all the things that we do with electricity. It's not you can't live without it. Civilization can't live without it. Your body can live without the parasites, though. And like I said, everybody's holding. Everybody's holding. So if you think you don't have parasites, again, it's only because your parasites are making you have hopium. The question is what types of parasites do you have, and what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Remember, exercise is a big part of keeping healthy. Drinking water, clean water, is a big part on keeping healthy. Living in the city or living anywhere, you're accumulating toxicity every breath. So the sauna is very important to be able to learn, practice. And that would be like your church maybe on Sunday is spa day, is to be able to take care of your church instead of going to an exterior church. And if you have time for that too, that's fine. But maybe for about 6 months, maybe stop going to the physical church and start working on your physical body, which is your church. And then start using your temples, maybe getting them in line so you're not out of line, right? So everybody I see is sick when I come to the city. It's just everybody is. This guy over here, he's not even walking. He's just, and he's not even 40 years old. But why are people so? He's so slow too right now. Poor guy. Anyways, I come to the city, I get depressed no matter what city I go to. It's because it makes me feel uneasy with all the wireless and all the tech in the air. I'm feeling nauseated already. I've only been here 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But I'm sitting next to these huge, you know, and I didn't bring my meters, but those are big transformers up there. Those things kick out huge amounts of electromagnetic fields, huge amounts. So I'm feeling it just from here because I'm sensitive to it, because I'm not around it. And everybody that I see here, remember, you're in the frequency net. It's just like having parasites inside your body. You're just used to the frequency net. You're used to the parasites in your body. This is why you're walking like this. You're lethargic. Your critical thinking is down to a bare minimum. Okay? And your action is not even worthy to say that you have any. Remember, are you doing good in this world? If you are, then maybe you're less parasitically infected than those that aren't doing any good at all. Because people say, oh, I don't do any evil. I didn't say that. Are you doing any good? Are you doing good to yourself? When I walk to the gym here, if I see a piece of paper, I'll pick it up because it's one less thing. It's one good thing I did. Doing a sauna is a good thing for me. Okay, being nice to people is a good thing. It's good. Remember, good is God, right? Evil, put the D in front, is the devil. And if you're not feeling too good because the parasites are making you depressed, making you frustrated, remember, they're pooping inside you. What are you going to do about it? I mean, what else can I say? This is going to be, we're going to talk about parasites for a few more videos because I'm putting out about 150 pages to be able to have on parasites, anti-parasitic medications, just going over the parasites more in depth, their life cycles, a lot of links, because you want to learn, okay, about this area. Is because, remember, it's demonology, the study of demons. And we don't have to go to our Bible, but you can go ahead and notice that, remember Jesus, one of his apostles, right, sick, fasted for 40 days, whatever it was, put a cup of warm milk in front of the apostle's face, right, and then Jesus grabs this snake that was in his gut and pulls it out, this huge freaking serpent. Okay, that's an exorcism. That's an exorcism. So do you have the courage to do your own exorcism? And of course, remember, it's all an experiment. No one's asking you to do anything, but I'm just asking you a question. Do you have the courage to be able to clean house? To be able to clean up your house? And maybe that's your physical house too, but I'm talking your body, your house. And again, give yourself, I mean, this is rethinking reality. Give yourself an inspection. Take your clothes off, shut the doors, no one's around, okay? Wait till everybody goes. Shut the blinds even so the birds can't even see, and give yourself a good body inspection. Okay? And see if you've got the infection. Remember, body fat. Turn around and squeeze your cheeks and see if you've got some feta cheese there. That just means that if you're a man and you've got that stuff on your arms and your legs, you have a diet high in estrogen. Yes, you do. And it could be plant estrogens, beer, remember, hops. Have a beer. This bud's for you, right? Yeah, this bud right here is for you. All the men that have buds coming out of their boobies because of high estrogen, because of, remember, many different vectors of making your body so it feels pregnant, so the parasites love you even more. Remember, estrogen blows you up, it swells you up, it gives you increased disease. If you're just getting hyperestrogen, you need testosterone. Okay? If you don't have testosterone, guys, then there's no way you're going to mate. And it's not a physical thing. Remember, testosterone gives you the ability, with a blend of estrogen, gives you the ability to be able to smell the females. Like a dog that's in heat or an animal that's in heat smells the female when she's ovulating, when she's ready to breed. And just so you know, girls, you need testosterone too, because if you got a ton of estrogen and your testosterone is off the map, it's not balanced, then you're not producing the pheromones, and that could be the reason being why you're not attracted to the opposite sex and or want to breed or have a family, is because it's the pheromones that tell the animals to breed. It's the pheromones that tell the insects to breed. It's the pheromones that tell the fish to breed. They don't have sex. They mate. Is that why we don't see that much mating going on anymore? Has the system been castrated from testosterone? Remember, testosterone makes you do things. It makes you strong. It makes you healthy. It makes you vital. And it also makes your body strong, not just with muscles, but also strong in immune system. Testosterone built this whole town. Every town that you're in right now, who do you think built that? Estrogen? That's why nothing's getting done in town, right? All the roads falling apart, everything's falling apart, is because everybody's got too much estrogen and all they want to do is feel things. I only feel things. I don't do anything. Remember, testosterone makes you do. And I explained this pretty good in a couple of videos on estrogen-fed society, and another one I did on increasing your testosterone. So those are videos just for you to be able to get some ideas. Okay? You want to increase your testosterone? It's real simple. You don't even have to change your diet. Just take your clothes off, clean your skin with the vodka cleaning solutions that we show on eartheracademy.com. Put some of the basic minerals in there and scrub a dub-dub. Put some relubricating oils on your skin and get your full body, all those private parts, get them in the sun. And you will have, you don't even have to get a blood test. You'll just know if you're a man, the size of your testes will increase at least 30% if they're in the sun for 30 minutes. How about that? So, todos los amigos tengo or tiene poquitos huevos, then lo siento. Okay? La sol es su amigo. It is. The sun is your friend. But your skin has to be clean. And once your system gets vitamin D, remember, it's another repellent for these demons. Once you lose vitamin D, once you lose your testosterone, once you become heavy metal toxic, plastic toxic, once you start having too much estrogen, again, in your food, in everything. Remember, estrogen's in a lot of stuff. Soy is loaded full of estrogen. Lavender, look it up, estrogen. So a lot of people putting lavender and you're already too high estrogen, and I don't think you should do that. Okay? And these are all things I had to learn because I had no idea, because I was hoodwinked by the system that told me lots of things were good for me and they weren't. That's all. Remember, it's what you believe or what you know. And you have to get sick so you can find out what you know. Because if not, what you know is pretty much hearsay. And if you just have hearsay, then what do you really know? It's just really simple. It's a bunch of psychobabble, but it's true. Okay? If the doctors wanted to know the medications they're taking or giving, then they should take every one. And then also take them like they prescribe the patients. Put this patient on Xanax, right? Okay, that's fine. You tell the patient to take it once or twice daily, right? This or that, and after 3 weeks, they're addicted. And if you look up the withdrawals from Xanax, you'll find out that that's harder to withdraw off of, and a lot of elderly people are on this stuff. Okay, Xanax, what a weird thing. See if you can withdraw off of that. People have seizures and die and just not good. Okay? And again, lots of elderly people are taking lots of pharmaceuticals, and these pharmaceuticals all have side effects is because they're petrochemicals, synthetic. They're not natural. Your body can't eat them, but it can use them, but it accumulates them in your tissues. So that body fat, when you start to lose it, guys, is not only a creature, but it's full of toxicity. So you may feel a little wiggy. That's why it's really important to be able to clean your skin, go in the sauna. It may take you 5, 10, 15 times, especially if you're a female, just to start to sweat, because your skin pores are plugged. And that's why you have a lot of sickness going on. Remember, sickness can be seen very easy. Just puffy eyes. That's sickness. Means your body's backed up. It's maybe dehydrated, whatever it is. Kidneys may be full of heavy metals. Is because the kidney is a filter. When's the last time you have cleaned these organs? When's the last time? This question. Anyways, to tie this up, parasites, in my 40 years of research, are not called parasites anymore. These are demonic entities, and I see them as such. And I also see these demonic entities, the physical entities, as antenna to other entities that are non-physical, and we call those mind parasites. So maybe disconnecting these physical parasites will help us with our insanity. It's because maybe a lot of the things that are in our head, and I don't care, a lot of times people, guys, you're watching horror films, you're watching porno, you're watching a bunch of stuff on a 240 flicker rate system. It's programming your subconscious mind, and that's why you can't get the song out of your head. You can't get a lot of things out. Listen to the lyrics of the songs that you're listening to, or read the lyrics, just so you can see that most of them have a lot of weird things attached to them. Again, demons. It's everywhere, right? But at least you can't change the outside demon system. Remember, Taco Bell has 666 in the logo, Disney has 666 in the logo, Monsanto, their name's 666. Okay, anyways, there's 1,000 of them. You can't change that, but you can see it. Remember, it's not what you look at, but it's what you can see and decode. You can change the demons inside yourself, though, but you have to know that this is not a possibility, a probability that you're holding these demons, and it's time for you to do an exorcism on yourself. Do it slowly, okay, and get a friend to help you, so you guys can go ahead and actually bounce back and forth on detoxing your bodies, so you don't just do it on your own. Try to find a group of people, friend, family, whatever it is, and collectively figure it out. I got a lot of, like I said, good ideas, concepts, disciplines, protocols, practices, principles, a lot of different experimental protocols that have great efficacy to them, repeated efficacy. So, anyways, it's hard to go ahead and talk on these videos now. It's because I have to filter myself so much. It's hard to think. And remember, a lot of the information that I have in my head is not made for average people. It's just not. They're called the minions, the mundanes, the pawns, whatever you want to call them. Remember, the NPCs, doesn't matter. But if you're listening to this broadcast, then most likely you're wanting to know a little bit more about knowing. And so increasing your information field with information that is lacking could help you tremendously. Remember, your information field starts when you're a child, and it could be a lot of good information that they're putting in your head, or a lot of bad information that they're putting in your head. Remember, you came from a monkey. I'm sideways right now in Hawaii. Okay. Those are 2 out of 1,000 things that don't make sense when you start to see nonsense. And I always tell people, prove your claim. We can prove the claim on the demons in the body. It's just a nomenclature of preference of what you want to call these things. Parasite, 33. Remember, again, in Gematria, fallen angel, 33. Who made up this language and named a lot of the things that we take for granted. We just do. Remember, English came from Latin, and it is truly the language of Babel, right? It's the language of confusion, the twisted tongue language, right? Forked tongue language. I see you, the letter C, and I can see the ocean is also called the sea. It's right over there. I can see the sea. And I have a letter C in my name, Cassar, right? I know, K-N-O-W, but no, you cannot do that. Okay, hey, let's go meet the boys and the girls, because we're gonna go have some meat on the barbecue. Meat and meat, right? Sound the same, but one letter twisted. Okay. Doctrination, right? And you put an IN in front of that, and what do you get? Indoctrination. And that's mostly what we get in this world, is to be able to learn the doctrine. And don't question the doctrine, of course, is because, well, you're not supposed to. And if you are, that means you're an anomaly. Anomaly. Oh, check out Archaic's channel too. Jason Brashears. Yeah, he's a chronologist. If you're interested in actually wanting to know a lot about prior past history from books probably prior of 1950 or so, before World War II, then there's a lot of good information if you're at that level where you want to see. Remember, not just look at things, but you want to see things. So a lot of information that, you know, anomalies want to see are not things that the regular folk want to see. They just turn their head. Doesn't make sense in their head. It's because they don't have enough neural net capacity to be able to digest information. They have to follow other people, most of them, and be able to see what they do. Monkey see, monkey do. Did a video on that the other day, Rethinking Reality. So anyways, go thumb through the videos, guys. Do a Dr. Cassar, Dr. Bazaar video fest. Lots of stuff on YouTube, but the meat and potatoes is the stuff that I really like to share, because remember, it's simple solutions. And a lot of the things that we want to talk about, of course, are my personal experiences and how I do things. Whether you want to do them, at least you have an idea of things that you may want to look into. That's all. No one's asking you to do a bloody thing. And everybody is an individual, and no one is the same. So none of us can be treated the same, right? Treated with love, care, respect, and all that kind of stuff, but treated the same as far as with doctoring, right? Remember, you have to be your own doctor. And if you're not your own doctor, guys, then in time, you're going to have to figure out a new game plan with someone wearing a white jacket, right? Same as the guy that wears them in the butcher shop. Went to the butcher shop the other day, and I'm sort of laughing because this guy's got a white jacket on, just like the doctor does. And he had this leather strap around his neck, is because he sharpens knives with this leather strap to get them super, super sharp. And he was going to put it on this little strap thing for his knives. And the doctor, you see, he's got the stethoscope over there, and that's the witch doctor's necklace, is to be able to make you feel that maybe this is the right person to speak to. Remember, the judge, the executioner, and the judge and police all wear the black costume too. Why do you have to pick black? I know it's my color of preference, as you can see. Why? It's because it doesn't get dirty, and I live on a farm. That's why I like it. But it's hotter than normal, and it makes you look dark, right? Okay, enough. Go ahead and look into the parasites, guys, and just waiting for this person to walk by, and we'll go ahead and see if you engage. If you engage. Remember, Earther Academy is $10 a month. We don't make any money doing any of this stuff. As long as I can keep the doors open, because it costs a lot of money to keep things going. You have to have professional people help you, and a lot of different things you have to do to be able to, I feel for people that have all these different websites and different things. And the higher you get up in the ladder, the more spears are thrown at your website. So you need smarter people to be able to help you with all the BS that comes your way to lock up your website, right? So anyways, we're all just trying to share with each other, because sharing is caring, and caring is sharing, right? Duplicity of words, but it's so true. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go work out. Aloha. And before I work out, okay, I need explosive energy, right? I don't have fruit during the day. I don't need to. I got a whole orange in here, super sweet off the tree, and I got some raisins in here, and that's gonna be my fuel for the next hour training. Back, let's see, what am I doing today? Back, rear delts, and I'm not coming in tomorrow, so I'm gonna do arms too, because I missed a day this week. And that's going to take me about an hour and 20 minutes, and I don't stop. I just go ahead, I'll superset back and forth. And remember, I'm an old guy, 62 bloody years old. And I see people working out in there, 18 years old, and it's like, guys, you're infected. Not only infected with the physical parasites, but also with that bloody parasite that you got in your hand. The one that's giving you the dopamine, right? That makes you feel so good when you get a ding, ding, ding. Ding-a-ling. When your mind sees what it's supposed to see, then you should be able to see that you do live in some form of a sane asylum and some form of purgatory if you live in some of those different parts of the world that Indigo Traveler points out. That's crazy. Beyond words, man. Go check it out. So I've been watching those one at night. Just watch it, and it makes me feel the lives that we all have. I don't care if you're homeless. Okay, you still got food. You're not, being assaulted with people with machetes and everybody's scrapping. No fuel in line for a mile just to be able to get a couple of gallons of petrol. Okay, water, good luck. Disease, look at the people there. They're all full of parasites because of sanitation problems, water problems. Everything in poverty is worse than people that have money. Okay, it's just the way it is. It costs money to stay healthy in this world. and it doesn't cost any money to get unhealthy, is because everything around you is unhealthy to do and to eat, and usually just to breathe. So if you don't do detoxification, guys, with the parasites, heavy metals, learn a lot of the different protocols to be able to wash a lot of this garbage out of your system, then in time, like I said, you're going to get sick, and you're going to have to go to someone with a special costume on, and you're going to notice that their belly's sticking out, and you know that they can't help you. It's because they have demons in them too, and they're going to try to give you a magic pill to help you with your heatheny. So wake up within the dream, guys. No one's here to help you. And if you think there are, maybe there's a few people that are here to be able to give you ideas, disciplines, and concepts, but no one's here to physically help you unless you help yourself. And that's just the way it is. There's no saviors coming, not saviors, saviors coming to help you. Haven't you figured that out yet? Remember, you got to be in this world a little while for you to be able to get some gray hairs. And when you get some gray hairs, each one of those gray hairs is 1,000 experiences, good, bad, or whatever. Joyous, doesn't matter, they're experiences. And so when you get gray hair, it means you've been here a while, which means that maybe you have a little wisdom, just a little, through experience. That's all. And again, remember, parasites have been my daytime and nighttime job for over 40 bloody years, looking at these bizarre, sinister creatures. And the more I look into them, the more bizarre they are. The more bizarre they are. So keep a watch out for the video I'm going to do on the anti-parasitic meds, and also explanation of different parasites and a lot of different pieces for you to be able to just get acquainted with this information. You should be acquainted with this information and take away some of the time that you're wasting, wasting on social media. Yeah, you may get a few laughs here and there, but guys, remember, you're in a system here that is degrading quickly, so best thing to do is get in shape, for the great extraction. Because that's what's happening right now, right? The great extraction. Some people call it the great reset. I see it as the great extraction, to extract all the soul energy from all those that give it up. So look at this world as a movie, and I wouldn't buy into a lot of things just because all you're doing is causing your system to be able to make cortisol under fear, doubt, and uncertainty, and you're just giving yourself more of an acidic interstitial fluid complex, and that's the fluid that's surrounding your red blood cells. And once that becomes acid like that, just from thinking stressful and being stressed at all the time for whatever reason being, I don't care if it's Wi-Fi stress, your system is reacting to it. And after a while, it starts to fall apart. It starts to degrade. I see a lot of people I haven't seen just in a little while, and they're degrading very quickly from whatever reason. Again, everybody's loaded and holding demons, parasites. So do your exorcism today. Okay, that's it. Maybe you should watch the movie Exorcism again and just notice that parasite that's in that girl that twists her neck all the way around the other way. Carrie, I think it was, right? Or whatever. Maybe that was a different movie. But whatever it was, in Exorcism, the lady turns her neck all the way around because she's possessed by something inside her that's making her become something that she's not. Just put that in perspective. And if you're something that you don't like yourself, guys, it's what you are. Change it. Okay, remember, reshape yourself, remold yourself. Do as you feel that you need to do to make yourself feel secure and not insecure. Insecurity is also another form of parasitic energy. It's because you don't feel worthy. Okay? You don't feel worthy. The information's out there, guys. It's just, are you in formation to be able to receive it? And again, once you get sick, guys, it's already the end of the road there, because now you got to scramble. It's best for you to be able to think in advance and be able to learn this, because it's pretty much free. Okay, to be able to learn about parasites, it's just have to put in the time, and somebody like myself or someone else needs to maybe collate some of the information, because there's a lot of stuff out there. It's hard to learn on anything nowadays because there's just too much, especially from all the other crap that you're getting at the same time. One last thing, start watching the videos on Parasites Without Borders so you can catch up a little bit. He's got a lot of videos, and since I started pushing him a little bit too, He started out with like 9,000 subs a couple months ago. I've mentioned him a couple times there, and maybe all you guys are going over there and checking it out, because now he's got 12,000 subs. And the bloody website or the channel's been online for like 10 years. That thing should have millions of views, but nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody wants to look at these demons because they're too weird. They're just too freaking bizarre. And you got to be a person like Dr. Bizarre to look at bizarre things, is because if not, you'll just turn away. I love having a big flashlight. Looking into the dark is something that my DNA loves. It's very curious to be able to see into the esoteric, into the occult. And I'm not talking stuff so I can go ahead and trip people. It's so I can go ahead and see how people are being tripped. Remember, this is a human farm here, isn't it, guys? You're fed and watered daily, and if you think not, again, we are all part of the farm. Some of you are less in it than others, and most people are fully entrenched in the farm. Without the fallen ones, the game wardens, or the ones that control this matrix, we as a species, we just can't survive. You think you can survive? Like I said, you got 4 days without water, and you start to dry up. Your interstitial fluid just turns into glue, and you can't pump that nice loose blood around because it won't go. Okay, that's enough. Aloha, guys. 56 minutes. Jesus, I've been flapping. All right, we'll see you guys. Aloha. Okay, we'll see you on the next one.